What up, y'all? Welcome to the Blazin A Trail podcast. I am your host, Tud Kyle H, aka K1. This podcast is all about giving the listener a certain mindset and a perspective that will allow them to have the right tools in their toolkit so they can start blazing their own path. Today, we got an amazing friend, a go-getter, a person who is trying to educate and inform the public. So our guest is a man of many talents, Starboy. He is the CEO of Kualdom Creations. Hopefully that doesn't give it away. He is a quarter of the People's Press. He is the owner of the Jazari Kual Show, an organizer, marketer of LNK Freedges, a musician, a photographer, a news reporter who's also known as the MediaMan. Trailblazers out there, please help me welcome Jazari Kual to the podcast.
When you list out all those things like that, I'm just like...
Starboy. Man, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a while in the making. I think you messaged me about this like 3 months ago.
Yes. It doesn't matter as long as we get it done, right? So, yeah, I remember you saying that you were recovering from COVID. Mm-hmm. How do you feel now? Can you smell? Can you taste?
My sense of taste and smell isn't what it was before.
Our old coworker, Hui, he said he couldn't even smell or taste anything for a while after either. So hopefully it comes back soon.
So I can like taste and smell. It's just not as strong as it was before. So like, and it changes. So for instance, like some of my cologne smells like straight up sulfur now.
Dang.
Isn't that weird? And
I want to smell like sulfur. No,
and it's my favorite cologne that smells that way. And then it changes too. So like a few weeks ago, I was up in Omaha and I was filming something for someone. I stopped at Village Inn and met a friend there. And I was eating coleslaw and it tasted like I was eating perfume, like flowery perfume. And then I came back to Lincoln. I was like, well, I don't know what that was. So I'm like, maybe that was just something wrong with the coleslaw. But then a few days later, I went to Taco John's and took a bite out of a bean burrito and it just straight up tasted like just perfume. And then I went home. I smelled my coffee, and before it was smelling like a weird, like fishy smell, and then it instantly changed while I was smelling it to smell like that flowery perfume. So I don't know what's going on.
You need to get away from the perfume.
Well, somebody told me that I should do this like nose training thing where you smell different essential oils. So it's like clove.
Clove is very strong.
Clove, eucalyptus, lemon, and rose. And so, like, you smell those throughout the day several times. And I've been doing that for the last few days, and I've noticed, like, more of a difference.
Okay, that's good, because garlic is very prominent, so have fun with that. So, Jazari, would you think it's fair to say 2020 was the year that people started to come to you for information about what's happening locally and what's happening nationally?
More locally, but I also, like, follow things nationally. So I read so many news articles last year, and even this year. All I do is read the news. Like, I watch the news all day. I read the news. Like, I stay tuned into everything that's going on around the world.
That's crazy. So you got a lot of subscriptions to the Journal Star and many more, huh?
No, I mean, the only one I have a subscription to is the New York Times.
The New York Times.
So I read a lot of New York Times articles. I watch different news outlets. So I watch CNN a lot. Sometimes I'll watch Fox News.
Yeah, just to cross-reference.
No, yeah, for real. Because that's one thing I've noticed too. It's like, even, as much as different media outlets say they're unbiased or things like that, like, you really have to look into everything everyone else is pushing.
Yes. So
for instance, like with the Capitol insurrection, right? Like CNN has been playing a lot of that and releasing a lot of footage.
Yes.
And so for people to know the severity of it, but then there are some other outlets that are pushing it as like a not that big of a deal thing. And so you have to look at different perspectives, because when you look at how people follow trends or follow different outlets and things like that, it's not good to only look at things that you only agree with.
Yes. Anything in life. Anything
in life. And especially with social media outlets. So like when you are scrolling through things, a lot of social media apps monitor your usage outside of the app.
We have talked about that.
And that's why you see a lot of things that are recommended to you. So if you're only Googling and searching up things that you agree with, it's going to pop up on social media that way. And then you never get an outside perspective. Exactly. So you have to be proactive in stepping outside of that.
Yes. So we're going to talk more about that. But so what I want the listener to understand is how you got to this moment, because most of the time, especially people from high school, we plan what we want to do, and it kind of changes. So I want to showcase people like yourself who have found their purpose through doing and trying different things. So let's start at the origin. Where are you from? Where's your family from?
My family is from South Sudan.
Holla, holla.
Sudan at the time, because,
Yes.
you know, it separated in 2011.
Yes.
But they came here in 1995, a couple months before I was born.
Yes.
And I was actually born in St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, shout out St. Louis.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
When I was about 1 year old, we moved to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Stayed there until I was around 2. And then we moved to Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
And then we moved from Omaha to Lincoln when I was 5. We moved to Omaha when I was around 4. And
So you're a Lincolnite for sure.
long enough to say I'm from here.
Yeah. Okay. So in South Dakota, was there a big hub of Sudanese people? Because
Yeah.
Dole was talking about he used to live in Sioux Falls as well. So there was a big hub.
Yeah.
Not like Omaha though, or Lincoln.
No, not like Omaha, because Sioux Falls is just a smaller town in general than Omaha.
Yeah.
But Omaha is, if I remember correctly, has the biggest Sudanese population in the country.
Yes. It's crazy. Okay, so were you most of the time the only African in your class?
In Lincoln, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how we still have a good amount of people here, but sometimes we're still the only ones.
I feel like it. And it's just the neighborhood we grew up into. In our neighborhood, there wasn't a lot of.
No. Did you go to Mickle?
Yeah, I did. So I went to Mickle. There were times where I was the only black kid in my class.
Yes.
You know?
Should have came to color. Holla. So, okay. All right. So it is tough. So in high school, how would you describe yourself? Like outgoing, social, a jock?
I was not a jock at all. I played soccer my freshman year, but I didn't pursue that. I participated in different things. So I was in varsity debate for a couple of years. I was in junior ROTC. I was in show choir. And that's kind of, and African American caucus, but kind of that was the extent to like my involvement in school. But
Yeah.
you know, I spent a lot of time with show choir, especially like my junior and senior year.
I wish I would have done the show choir.
You wish you would have?
Yes.
I remember the dance that you guys did during.
Was it not Star Starters, but was it?
It was a Hispanic themed.
Whoa! Wait!
You don't remember that?
Wait, was it my senior year?
Yeah. See, I remember. I remember your performance.
I
more
came
than you
to
do.
dance. Oh my gosh! You throwing me back right now. 'Cause I definitely don't remember that at all.
You don't remember that?
No.
You don't remember
I
that?
don't remember at all. So, what were some of the thoughts that were going through your mind as it pertains to what you wanted to do after high school? Because there's society pressures, especially from our parents, because they're over here like, you need education. This is why we came over here.
So, okay, I was thinking about this the other day actually. So it's interesting you asked that. So I, since I was young, you know, I always wanted to be an actor.
Yes.
Right? So I always imagined myself on Disney Channel. I said this on another podcast, you know, like yeah, exactly that. So I always wanted to be on Disney Channel, and that was kind of the dream of mine. And it sounds ridiculous, but I didn't know people were rich and famous. Like I didn't know that was a thing. Especially, you know, being 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
Like I just thought it looked fun.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like living in a hotel on the whatever floor, you know, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, all of that. I thought that was cool, you know? And so that's why I wanted to get into it, because it looked like something I would have fun doing.
Exactly.
And so I used to watch like a lot of Tyler Perry movies. I used to reenact scripts. I used to watch movies and then literally like reenact like episodes. And me and my brother used to do it
all the time. Well, can you
funniest.
remember one skit that you could still do to this day?
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you do
Okay,
it. But
because, okay, so I actually there was a talent agency called Applause International that came here.
From Omaha, like at Omaha or something? Or they came here to Lincoln?
They came here to Lincoln.
Oh, wow.
And Kim Myers was a talent scout that was there. And I was the very last person to go, right? Because you have like a line of people that go. You have your paperwork that you fill out. You listen to them. And then it's like her and like 2 of her assistants. And then everybody goes up on the stage. I was the very last person. And I did a Tyler Perry skit, like a Medea impersonation.
Which movie? Which movie?
It was from a stage play.
Like before he started making movies?
No, this was back in, well, this was in 2009.
And this wasn't like Tyler Perry today.
no, this was before when he did a lot of stage plays.
That's what I thought.
And so I did that skit, and I think I was the first person to get a call back. Like, the lady got up and, like,
Lit.
asked me to give her a hug and stuff like that. She's like, who'd you come with and all that stuff. And then I remember her saying, like, you're very special. You're going to go far, you know? And
So what stopped you from pursuing that?
it just came down to just a lot of things that we weren't able to afford. So they would come every month to Omaha. And we would have to go to Omaha, and then it would be like an all-day thing, like a seminar. So it's like you practice like these skits and all, like it's like an intense training type thing. And so we did that for several months, but then there was like a showcase in Orlando, Florida, and then we just couldn't afford to go there. So
it's a lot of money. So what is...
And so I remember wanting to go to, I always wanted to move to LA. I was like, after I graduate high school, I'm going to leave here. Like, I'm going to get out. And my mind changed a lot with the things I wanted to do. And I feel like that drove my mom crazy because, like, one week I wanted to do this, and then the next week I wanted to do that. She's like, you need to figure out, like, what you want to do. Because it was, like, it was always changing, you know? And I think that's kind of how I run Kualdom now. It's multimedia. You know, it's not just one thing.
Yeah, because that'd be kind of boring for you, especially because you like to do a lot of different things.
And one thing I hate was people are like, you need to find a niche. Like, what's your niche?
Yeah.
My niche is creativity. Like, I don't want
like
to,
that.
focus on one thing. And especially if you have different talents. And I think a lot of people get nervous to branch out to different things because they don't want to lose an audience.
Exactly.
And so I feel like that hinders yourself because for 5 years, why would I want to be doing the same thing for 5 years?
Exactly.
Out of fear that I would lose some audience because of that. And so that's why I do like a lot of different things.
But like, especially if those are your real fans, they will understand your growth and your progress. So I feel like people shouldn't be scared about that.
Yeah.
As long as you build that community.
Yeah.
And they should want you to branch out and try different things. All right. So what was your first endeavor in the arts? Music or photography?
I would say music because I always sang in choirs. I always sang in choirs in elementary school. I played several different instruments. I played the viola. I played the clarinet for 3 years. I played guitar for a little bit. I dabbled in piano. So I did a lot of like art stuff.
Yeah.
As far as music goes. And oh my gosh, I completely forgot about this, but several times I got invitations to join the Lincoln Boys Choir in middle school.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they're still around, but my music teacher was always like, you should join this, you should join this, you should join this. And I never did, but...
You definitely should have.
I should have, but I didn't.
What tone were you? I know there's like alto, tenor.
Altos are female parts, but...
Never mind.
Tenor, I can hit some bass notes. I can sing in the baritone range, and then tenor 1 and then tenor 2. But usually in like that middle between tenor and baritone is where I usually am.
Lit. Okay. What was your stage name for music?
Jazari Kual.
What was your first song that you were proud of?
Marty McFly.
I know it.
You listen to that song?
I was
Looking
like,
back, I'm just like, bruh.
why? I think it's like even when I look back to my songs, I cringe, but I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
Cause like you might not have cringed at your music, but I'm just like, damn, I've definitely grown from that moment. But
I remember in the studio recording that with TJ, and I was like, this is fire. This is going to go to #1. We about to get the Billboard charts. We're about to get national coverage. We going to the Grammys. Like, that's what I thought. But I feel like it was good to have those high expectations.
Exactly.
Just because then that shows you really believe in yourself and what you're doing. And obviously, we didn't go to #1 and stuff like that. But, from then, the music got better.
Yes. So. All right. So let's now pivot into news, being a reporter. So what was the key driving force for you to become a news reporter and a person who showed important events in the city?
So I feel like I'm all over the place with this. So like when I was younger, right, we used to watch CNN all the time.
That's all my parents do.
And my mom was always like, you need to know what's happening in the world. You need to know what's happening in the world. She always said that. And I remember presidential elections, watching it when Obama won the election. I remember that moment sitting there in the living room. And I used to just watch the CNN logo just like light up and go around the circle. I vividly remember that. And I always remember watching Anderson Cooper and all of that. And I'm just like, it would be so cool to be there like one day.
Yes.
And so I kind of strayed away from that. But even then I thought about going into journalism after high school, but I didn't pursue that because I was just like, maybe I should try to do something that is guaranteed income.
Yes.
Which we get into the point where people just settle for something.
Facts.
And so I wanted to go to school for petroleum engineering. I got into Texas Tech.
Would you say petroleum engineering? Which one of your parents forced you to do that?
Nobody did.
Because my dad tried to. He's like, Tut, there's a lot of oil back home. You will get that job. Go and do it.
And that was the thing. So like I thought about it, like going home and going back to Sudan and being a petroleum engineer, but also helping build the country.
Yes.
Becoming more urban and stuff like that. And
Yes.
more
Industrialized for sure.
Yeah. But Texas Tech was an extremely expensive school.
Yes.
Very expensive. And it just was not realistic for me to go there. Like it just wouldn't happen from my financial standpoint.
Yeah.
So I switched to computer engineering. And then, after that, I stopped going to school for a little bit. And then I ended up going back to school for computer engineering because I still wanted to do engineering.
Of course.
But then I went into computer science with the rise of like technology these days.
Yes.
So, but back to with like the whole news reporting and stuff, I just thought it was a moment to really capture what was going on in the city. At first, I was documenting it.
Yes.
From like as a videographer, like filming.
Yes. Yeah,
But
that's
then-
how it started, huh? Because you were more the YouTube, the vlogging,
Yeah.
the reacting.
Yeah.
Because that was funny.
Yeah.
But it's so crazy because like even if you did not even start on that path, it probably because like you could have, but you didn't have the experience or know what to come
Yeah.
when you started.
No, yeah, definitely. And just capturing everything and like live streaming for people to see what was happening in Lincoln.
Yes.
Because it happened a lot. Like we would beat out there at these protests and the news outlets would be there, but they wouldn't be covering anything.
Of course.
Until things escalated.
Got real crazy at the courthouse.
And so I, started live streaming on Facebook and things because I was seeing a lot of these live streams come on of all these different protests. And stuff like
Yes.
that. And then seeing how the story was not accurately portrayed here in Lincoln made me upset. And I'm just like, I've made enough vlogs and videos.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable on camera. Let me just go live and just cover this event. And it just took off from there.
Yeah, because I remember it was, I think you were doing it almost for like a week straight.
Yeah.
And then like people were just like, oh, this is going to phase out with the protests. And then
I
it just
got
kept
that a
going.
lot.
So when there was times that like I'd be at work, I'm like, okay, Jazari, I got to go to his Facebook page real quick because I know something's going down. Yeah. People are walking down O Street. So I was looking at you. I was looking at Tim. But you guys were like the main ones. And then Journal Star would pop up. But I'm like, no, they're only going to give a certain kind of view on it. Because obviously their stakeholders, their audience wants something else.
I mean, like, we'll say, like, I've met a lot of people that work for the Journal Star, and they're all wonderful people.
Yeah.
But, there's other things in play that go
Of
into
course. But you guys were giving it raw. Like, you guys would be like, this is happening, this is happening. And that's what most people want, instead of, like, when they were like, the protesters are being violent. I'm like, no, you could watch the whole thing. And it was something that happened on their side, and then everything just started snowballing.
Yeah.
Because if there wasn't people like you or Tim, we wouldn't see the other side.
Yeah.
They'd just be like, them protesters, man.
Yeah. But a lot of people did say, like, oh, you're a fake journalist. This is going to phase out and stuff like that. And community journalism.
What's up?
And no, like community journalism is becoming a really big thing.
I haven't even heard that term before.
If you look at different live streamers, like there's other ones that I follow from Seattle, from DC, from Minnesota, Texas. Like there are other live streamers everywhere that do what I do, and what Tim did, and what Peyton does in Omaha.
Shout out to Peyton.
Zyla's Live Media.
I don't know, but shout out.
Well, he's another member of the People's Press.
I'm gonna have to meet you one day.
He's really cool. No, and I saw like a lot of that happening, and then seeing what was happening on the national level, like what was portrayed and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And it was just like, this is wild to me. But no, a lot of people did say, you're a fake journalist. This is gonna phase out. You have a pipe dream that's fueled by the dying BLM movement. But it was wild, like that live stream that day.
What was the highest? Was it like 20-something K?
It was 16,000 live viewers. And then I think when we
How did you feel when it just slowly started going up?
So that day,
Was your heart racing?
not really. I mean, so it was it was wild because I remember live streaming that entire day, right? And started at the Capitol, then they marched down to the courthouse, and there were times where, it went up to like maybe like 50, and then for a while it was like 2 viewers.
Yeah.
2 or 3. And then like as the day went on,
Yes.
like it started climbing and climbing and climbing. And then I had to stop it because it cuts off after 4 hours. And then I think after I ended that, it shows you the total views, and it's like 60,000. And I was like,
because even Journal Star, they couldn't for a while. They're like, look at this show for more.
Really?
Yes.
mine?
Yes. You and the vigilante.
I didn't know that.
Shout out to.
But no, and my nephews were there because they had come down because my sister said they were all at home watching. So everybody was in their room watching my live. And then my nephews were like, nah, this doesn't feel right. We need to go down there.
Exactly.
And so they came down there, and they were standing by me when I ended that live stream, and we looked down and it said like 60,000 views, and we like all looked at each other like, whoa. It was wild. And then I restarted it, and then within like seconds, it climbed to 1,200 viewers. Like seconds.
That's crazy.
And then we went back to the Capitol because they marched back over to the Capitol. And then when I ended that live stream, it was said it ended at 109,000 views, and I was shaking.
Yeah.
Because that's almost half of Lincoln.
Exactly. That was watching. Oh my gosh.
But I mean, it's not about like the views and stuff like that, because since it's progressed and, since I've continued making content and covering events, like you said, you develop a following.
Yes, that community. Yes.
Visit your page and stuff like that. And I've met a lot of amazing people.
Yes. And we're going to talk more about that. So here's some questions I want to poke at. Okay. So what kind of content do you like to highlight, cover, or write about? Is it more on the activism? Is it more on just informing on whatever is happening, especially like just what you did with the vigil for Stop Asian Hate with the Asian Community Center?
Yeah.
So is it stuff like that you like to cover, or is it just like you said, you don't like to have a niche, you just like to do whatever?
No, I would say I like covering probably marches the most.
Yeah.
Because and even aside from the marches, because they have like their speeches and things that they do, and then they have the marches, but it's a really good community building moment. Versus, there's like the Asian vigil that I covered was beautiful. We had speakers and things like that. That's one type of demonstration. And then there's another where, they have people in the crowd come up and talk and share their stories and experiences.
Exactly.
And so you get to know people and see their perspective. And then a lot of connections have formed from that. So like I've met so many people that I've become friends with that I didn't know existed before.
Yes. It's because you started Blazin A Trail. Yeah. All right. So like you said earlier, what are some other famous or like journalists that inspire you, and why are they inspirational to you?
I really like Don Lemon.
Yes.
Just a black man who's there on national TV.
He's doing it.
Yeah.
Always taking heat, but continue to stay straight on the path of what he's there to do, journalism,
Yeah. And there's like a lot of other live streamers that I watch. Luna Soul is a good one.
I have to check that out because I don't know what that is.
And then there's also CJTV and Mercado Media. But Andrew from Mercado Media is covering a lot of the George Floyd trials right now.
Oh, snap. Okay.
And so I follow them. And I love Breonna Kyler.
Breonna Kyler. I'm going to have to look that up.
From CNN.
Oh, I don't know.
I just like love a lot of their anchors, and it's not because I watch it all the time, but I just mean like their personalities and like them as people. It's like people you'd really get to know.
Exactly. Like I would be your friend in person.
Yeah, I'd be like, I feel like I could go get a cup of coffee with you on a Wednesday. Like those type of people.
Yes.
But a lot of other content creators I used to watch. I really enjoy Peter McKinnon's videos.
Peter McKinnon, shout out. I know you watch Peter.
There's Maddie, Becky and Chris.
I've seen that.
There's a YouTuber called, he's more of a mukbanger, and he has a podcast also, Troy's TV.
Troy's TV? But he's
so funny.
Oh, okay. But he be eating on the tube?
Yeah, he made an alligator once and ate it.
Wait. He did a what? He did what?
You can buy like alligator, like a whole alligator, and make it.
Wow.
I didn't know until I saw that, but I'm a pescatarian, so I wouldn't eat it anyway. But no, he has like a lot of commentary, and he makes like these documentary style things where he narrates and throws things together, which is so cool. And then there's As Told by Kenya. She and I actually collaborated once.
As Told by Kenya.
She's in Atlanta, Georgia, and she does a whole bunch of things on like pop culture and things like that and other issues and stuff. So
Man, that's what's up.
there's a lot of people that I.
All right.
Oh, Matt Diavella, who's a filmmaker.
Wait. Glasses?
Yeah.
He has a podcast called like The Grind or something.
Yes.
I think. But he's like
he's a filmmaker.
Yeah, he's like 5 steps that I've learned from. He's a productivity kind of
And
YouTuber.
he's a minimalist.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So he produced a documentary, Minimalism, on Netflix.
He made a documentary. It got on Netflix?
Yeah. And this was before he became a huge
Damn.
YouTuber.
Okay. So he was like a driving force in the minimalistic community. All right. So I believe we learn from mistakes. So let's be real. So what was your worst performing piece of content, but what did you learn from it?
My worst, across the board?
Across the board.
I performed at Juneteenth in 2016.
Yeah.
And it was terrible.
Well, what was terrible? Like,
it was just bad. Like, we didn't have a mic check, and I couldn't hear myself.
That's scary, low key. When it's like the feedback is different.
I couldn't.
That's
So you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I couldn't hear myself or anything like that. But what I learned was just to be better prepared. Better prepared.
Yes.
And never be caught off guard. Like, you can never be caught off guard.
All right. Flip side. What is your best work today that you are proud of?
I would say probably documenting the protest.
I love it. All right. We'll be right back. We'll have a word from our sponsor. This podcast episode is brought to you by Yato. Yato stands for You Are the One. Yato was born at the intersection of a lifestyle and fashion. Due to their inspiring collections and customer service, they have been highly successful since day one. Yato wanted to sponsor Blazin A Trail podcast because they believe in platforms that give people inspiration, platforms that present stories of adversity, and wanted a podcast that gave practical and applicable ways for any person to achieve their goals. So they have agreed to give a 15% off coupon off your total order by using code BAT, as in the Blackbird. So use code BAT to get 15% off of your total order. Back to scheduled programming. Thank you to our sponsor. So we were talking about what Jazari felt like was his best work, but now let's talk about this. What are the steps that you take before you make a stance on a huge topic that is being discussed nationwide or locally, since you are like a trusted source? Because there's a lot of ridicule that will come from it. So what are the necessary steps that you take in order to be prepared and not be caught slipping?
I read as many articles on the topic as possible.
Yes.
So if I see an event that's happening or taking place, I'll read that article and then search up other articles with different media outlets.
Yes.
From way different perspectives, and really understand what's going on and kind of research that more in depth.
Exactly.
Before, start sharing things and talking about it.
Yes. Because that's a problem that we see. I was even especially when social media became more not politicized, but just a lot of opinions out there. I would just share stuff and be like, oh, I read the headline, and I'm like, oh, I agree with that. Share
headlines,
and then when I actually read it, I'm like, probably shouldn't have shared that.
And then on Twitter, what they'll do now is when you go to share an article, they'll be like, do you want to read this first? Are you on Twitter like that?
No, I'm not on Twitter like that.
Yeah, so
I'm posting ghosts on Twitter. For real.
I didn't know. Posted ghosts.
Yeah. But for real, because that's a big problem, because now it's
I feel like I do that on Instagram.
Posting ghosts?
Posted ghosts.
Yes. It's...
That's the funniest thing I've heard all day.
Yeah. But so what are the steps other than you said that you read on a lot? Because a lot of the times I think people should read the other side because it gives you more of an understanding on what their argument is, so you stand 10 toes down on what you believe.
Yeah.
And you have things to back it down. Because a lot of people, if you come to them with facts, they'll and they can't debate that. They'll come for you as a person.
Yeah.
Just like they did. Oh, this is only gonna last this amount.
Yeah. I've been called all types.
Oh, we're gonna
of
talk
stuff.
about that. How do you manage inevitable backlash? Especially when you're putting yourself out there and being vulnerable to these attacks by people who have certain opinions.
Yeah, I mean, I read every comment. People say don't read the comments, but I read every single comment.
Yeah.
I have to.
Like low key, like I feel like I have to as well.
I have to read every comment to see what, what's going on and what people are saying. But
Tilt this up.
tilt this up.
Yeah.
I can't. Let me just put it back. See, I had no business touching it. It was fine.
That should be good. Just,
that- It's gonna be an editing nightmare.
It's all good. No, it's all good. We keep it. We keep it straight like that.
Really?
No sweat. We're real. We are real.
What was it?
So how do you? See, this is a laughing moment for people on audio. So
Inevitable backlash.
yeah, how do you manage that? Like, how do you when you read those comments? Do you go punch something? Do you just go take a shower to wash it away? What do you do?
What I'll do is probably just start typing a response
And then delete it.
delete it.
I like
That's
that.
what I do. Like I type out my response, how abrasive it may be. Like, epic clapback, and then I just delete it.
Because you still get the feeling. Have you hit post before accidentally? Damn. I feel like I would hit post. If I'm mad, I'm not
Post and
thinking
ghost.
really. Yeah. Oh wait, you responded to my Oh no, I'm not even looking at that.
Well, or I'll type it out and then rewrite it a few times
Yes.
where it's not as just like a reaction.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, with me, the inevitable backlash, it's it's gonna come,
Of course.
and so you just have to know, like, one, is this a space you want to be in?
Ooh.
Because you're going to get that.
That's what I was going to ask you for the up and coming activists who want to use social media. So as you said, know if this is what you want to do.
Yeah.
This is what you want. This is what you're going to get. So know how to
handle that.
Exactly.
I mean, people can, say things about me or attack me for one thing, but there's been times where people come for my family.
I know. I
And
remember
it's
you
just
saying that.
because it's just they're private citizens. Like they're not.
They have nothing to do.
Yeah, they have nothing to do with it.
Yes.
And sometimes I kind of forget that as far as there are people who live private lives and things like that. Like my brother who's, he has lots of friends and stuff like that, but he lives a private life off of social media. And so.
That is very true.
Yeah. And, a couple of my sisters do as well. They're not on there like that. But that's the thing. Usually when people say whatever you want about me, I understand that I'm out there and it's going to come with the territory.
Stay away from that,
Especially minors.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you think social media and social media activism have elevated social justice movements, good or bad?
One, it can be used in a bad way. So, if people can take a certain clip of something bad that's happening and push that and have everybody think oh, this is what's going down. This is how it is,
Yeah.
But then on the good perspective, there's other ones where it's more of an educational thing and they share what's going on and different topics and things like that. But one thing I've learned this past year is people are not who they've portrayed themselves to be. And it's been a very hard thing to grasp, knowing people who...
damn.
That's how you really felt this whole time?
Yeah. That is very disheartening.
Yeah.
I trusted you. Okay, so... And most of the time when you are posting, I love that most of the time you ask your audience what they think instead of telling them.
Yeah.
And
then sometimes I'll have those trigger warning posts.
Yeah.
How I feel.
And the next thing you know, I see this many likes, 500 comments, and I'm like, okay, let me look. But I think it's good because you're building that community.
Yeah. And I mean, I posted that one with condolences to the families of the people who lost their lives in Texas.
Yes.
Or not Texas, excuse me.
Colorado, yeah.
But following that, there was a hot debate, like, should guns be banned, And I
Yeah,
posted a
and
simple question. I said, should guns be banned? It was wild. And I'm just like, whoa. And then people angry reacted to it.
But it's like you're just posing a question.
Yeah, why are you angry reacting to my question?
You're one of those liberals who won't take our guns away.
Don't say that.
But like a lot of the times people do take it really personal when it has nothing to do with it. It's just a question. Yes or no, and then have providing points, but don't attack.
Yeah. And I can see that from the perspective. Sometimes people ask questions about the BLM movement, about being a minority or a person of color. And I've seen that too, where it's like the other side like attacks them for asking questions.
Yes.
And for me, I feel like it's more destructive just because it's like we're missing an opportunity to have a discussion, an educational moment, And so it's always important to, when somebody's asking a question, unless they're, you could tell they're being like salty about it. But like sometimes, then how do you differentiate who's really trying to learn and not?
Exactly. That's a good question to ask now. So especially when everything was going around with George Floyd, a lot of my European friends was coming to me like, Tut, I'm sorry that I haven't really been paying attention. Could you point me in the direction of what I should learn? Because like there's some African Americans out there that are like, no, this has been going on for years. You can go out. There's a thing called the internet. You can look all that stuff up. But it's like, I feel empathetic to those people because they are now reaching out and knowing that, dang, I've been part of the problem. I'm going to ask a friend that I care about, like, what resources should I do? I'm like, all right, I'm going to be the one who's going to open the door. You just have to walk through, read these so you can be educated. Like, the 13th Amendment, the movie that came out on Netflix, that helped a lot of people. These books, and I think it's that problem of like we need to help each other have these open conversations instead of, oh, this is what you believe. All right, get out of here.
And that happened a lot too. Just looking back in high school and just seeing how people were getting canceled online, especially when everything happened. I mean, people were dragging teachers into it. Like, I remember being in class and all this, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, this is wild. And people getting, like, called out, and just classmates of mine that I remember and things like that. But, I mean, I experienced a lot. I don't know about you, but I experienced a lot of racism in high school from peers.
Oh, I kind of enabled it, too, because of Dave Chappelle, the skit, Clayton Bigsby. White power. Like, they'd just be walking down the halls doing that, At the time, it was just all fun and games. But a lot of them, during last year, apologized. Because they didn't know what they were doing, Yeah. Because it's part of the skit, but some of them were taking it too far. But obviously, when I wasn't there, but they'd be like, damn.
But even aside from that, it's just like, people learn things at home.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so there are people who didn't apologize for the way they behaved and stood by it. Because it's like, that's what they learned. And it's sad and tragic and all, but I'm just like, you know what? We're all built different, I guess.
Yes.
And then there's
and
some
we
people
can't all be the same.
And we can't. And then there's some people who don't want to look at another perspective.
Yes. I'm comfortable. Why would I want to look at another?
I hate when people say that. Oh,
it irks me, bro.
Uncomfortable conversations. Uncomfortable for who?
Yeah.
Like, our whole existence in life has been uncomfortable, being black, being a person of color, being a minority. It's like, but you don't want to have this conversation because it's uncomfortable for you.
True.
Instead of looking at, if I feel uncomfortable talking about it, how do people feel living through it every day?
Facts.
That's just what it is.
All right, okay. So last year was very busy for you. So considering all the major stories last year, which one would you have?
This mic right? I feel like
Hold on, we gonna fix it.
Is this? Yeah, okay, this is better. Cause no, this is good.
Is it?
Yeah, sit back down.
Hold on.
That's like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Why didn't you say that from the beginning? You just
because it still sounded good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sound okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So yeah.
Oh, you guys can't. This sounds good, right?
Yeah. So which one would you have liked to cover? considering all the major stories last year, which one would you have liked to cover?
Last year.
Yeah,
I feel like I covered a lot of the protests.
I feel like you have.
I don't think I missed. Well, there was a demonstration for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. My gosh.
Oh, what?
The Supreme Court justice.
Yeah, I know that, but
yeah, after she passed away, there was just kind of like a memorial thing. For
oh,
her
okay.
That I wish I would.
That definitely would have been nice.
That would have been nice. It was at the Capitol, but
Rest in peace to that great soul.
what I really wanted to cover was the insurrection at the Capitol.
The what? The insurrection?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But
I feel like that. Oh my gosh.
But I'm kind of glad I didn't because they're coming for everybody that was there.
Oh yeah, actually, we were talking about that at Neighborhoods, how a lot of that was going down.
Yeah.
Okay, so since you're an entrepreneur, you have all these aspects in what you like to do. How has that affected your family life and social life?
I've lost a lot of friends.
Talk more about them. They're in the camera right now.
No, it's been really hard to focus on everything that I know I want to do and maintain a social life because there's a lot of friends that I have that aren't pursuing, a public life like I am.
Yes.
Well, maybe not pursuing a public life, but have a public life like I do. And it's just kind of it's been hard to realize that me and like a lot of other friends that I had are on different paths, Like there are some people getting married, having kids and all that stuff. I'm extremely happy, and
for sure.
But like having a path that's completely different than what your friends are doing, you sometimes grow apart.
Yep.
And just pursue different things.
The love is still there though.
Yeah. But I've also made a lot of other friends that are also
Facts.
in the same sphere, which has been super cool. So
that's what I like.
Press. I love them all.
Shout out to everybody in the People's Press that I haven't met. So everybody else.
1/5. I'm 1/5. You put
You're a
1/5?
fifth?
Yes.
Because I looked at your Twitter and it's at a quarter. So you guys gained one.
Yeah, we did.
Perfect. So how have you dealt with the workload that comes with this field, especially last year? Did you have to have...
Well, I took last semester off from school because I had to. There was no way that I could keep doing what I was doing.
Damn.
And so I still have a full-time job outside of this.
For real?
Yeah, for just a regular job, like a regular 40-hour
I did not
job.
know that.
Yeah, I do that. And then I do this, and then I also go to school full-time again. You got to.
Man.
And that's the thing, like things don't come easy. Like,
No.
I could just be like, dang. Like I don't. But I do want to finish school and finish my education, which I'm going to finish next year. And I still want to grow my own company and
For
stuff
sure.
like that. But then I still have to work a full-time job.
Exactly, to fund all this stuff.
To fund all this. And that's just where things have to be. And things don't come easy. I have hopes that we'll get to a place where not only will it be like my full-time job, but other people's full-time jobs.
Exactly.
As well. So
It's a necessary sacrifice. That's how I see it. So with everything that you do, how do you generate ideas? Do you have like a vision board? Do you write things down, or do you just do like you go work out or go on a walk and that's how you generate ideas? How do you go about it?
I just think of things as from different points of view and like that expands to different things. So like sometimes I'll just be sitting there just scrolling through social media, or just like an idea will pop in my head or something like that. Yeah. So like for our new merch line that we have, this is one of the shirts.
Holla, holla.
I was like, how can I make this an experience? You know what I mean? Instead of like somebody just buying a shirt and that's it.
Exactly.
So I was like, packaging, branding is everything, right?
Facts.
So I made custom packages, poly mailers for the shirts. And I'm just like, let me take this a step further. And so I built the whole website, the store order form for it, where the merch is displayed to match the aesthetic of the merchandise.
That's smart.
So it's like black with neon signs.
Yeah.
And it's like when you click it, when you're shopping for the shirt, it's an experience because it's a different like interactive thing. And then when you actually get it with branded packaging, you're just like, and then sometimes I'll write like Jazari was here on it.
I love that.
And then some people will like take pictures and send it to me.
Yes.
It's just so cool. But yeah.
I like that. It's transparent all the way through that whole process.
Yeah. So it's a
like
whole
you said,
experience.
I love it. I love it. So, okay. What key activities do you recommend for like young entrepreneurs to invest their time in?
Activities?
It could be reading. It could be.
I would say reading. Reading books.
That's what our last guest said. Like reading.
Reading different success stories.
Yeah.
You know, because that will give your perspective and kind of be a roadmap of how you want to do things.
Exactly. You know? Blazin A Trail. What's up, baby? Ha.
Reading a lot and just educating yourself on different things, collaborating with people.
Facts.
Collaborating is a big thing, and networking, because then that goes in with networking, right?
Exactly.
So you're reading different success stories, you're collaborating with people, you're networking, and then you're getting ideas on how to grow from there. So.
Yeah, because it's like a lot of times people get bogged down when they should be collaborating with people who have or can help on the journey, because it's also helping them.
Yeah.
But it's like, this is my baby. I don't want anybody else to have the recognition or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like nobody does, like teamwork really does make the dream work.
And that's one thing I had to learn too. Like there was a lot of times where I would want to collaborate with people before I had the platform I do now.
Ooh.
And I've been left unseen by so many other like content creators.
Damn.
And so that kind of has been for me knowing that I have this platform now, knowing how it feels to not have a platform.
Exactly.
And then somebody with a platform just ignoring you and leaving you on red.
Yeah.
You know, that's why like I always collaborate with people and things like that. Or if somebody hits me up and says like, hey, do you have any advice about this? Like I always give people advice and stuff.
Because you know how it is to be in that position.
You know how it is to be in that position. And some people forget. You know what I mean? We all start
That is
somewhere.
true. That is very true.
Yeah.
Okay, so question I start asking all guests, what motivates you?
What motivates me?
Yeah.
I would say...
Why did I say it like that?
Yeah, I don't know why you said it like that. I would say my family definitely motivates me, especially my nephews.
Yes.
Because, you know, we grew up not well off.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And so, like, I was like, you know, I'm going to build an empire and then show them that, you know.
You can do it too.
Yeah, you can do it too.
Love it.
But just knowing that I want them to be able to have, when you look back on different things that people have access to or families that people grow up in, and things like that, and knowing that they have fail-safe plans set up for them and just like a safety net and things like that, and not having that growing up, and just knowing that in the future, if I do have a family of my own, I want to have that for them.
Exactly.
But for my nephews right now, because I feel like they're my kids.
Yeah. You probably do take care of them, especially change diapers when they were young. So
yeah, but we're pretty close in age.
One of them is in high school. He's about to graduate, or
one's
did
a
he?
junior and one's a senior. And then
He's a hooper.
Yeah.
He's a hooper.
And then another one just graduated last year, and they all played.
I remember the vlogs.
Yeah. They were all on varsity in Northeast.
What's your older nephew's name?
Whitner.
Whitner? Mm-hmm. He's at Northeast, huh?
No, he graduated last year.
Okay.
He graduated last year from Lincoln High. But I got lost in that.
It's
because
okay.
I was gonna answer another question that you had. Oh, but then I have another nephew who's he's 23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Everybody
So,
close
like,
in age.
yeah.
Okay. How do you define success? It's different for everybody.
It's different for everybody. I would say success is not. I wouldn't measure it in monetary.
No, yeah, that's why I was asking. How do you define it?
Well, yeah. I feel like I'm successful, you know, with the things that I do.
My man.
But I'm not rich.
Of course.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
So, but I feel like, you know, I've made it to a place that I've wanted to be at for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I remember that post you had a couple of days ago. Mm-hmm. Like, you now look back and you're proud to be in the position you are.
Yeah.
So let's clap for that, man. Because we need to give people their flowers, man. That's what it is. But as you were saying, because like you do give a lot of value. Mm-hmm. In time, you will receive money for the value that you've given.
And see, that's okay. So being a content, I used to watch a lot of like videos, you know, like, oh, this is a secret a lot of YouTubers never tell you. You know those videos? Like, do this one thing, how I grew from 0 to 90K, like all this stuff. I hit a million views in 3 days, you know, like all that type of stuff. And like, I used to watch a lot of that and I'm just like, wow. But a lot of them would say like, followers does not translate to money.
No.
at all.
No.
And I'm just like, watch. But I'm like, I'm about to hit this, I'm about to like quit my job and all this stuff. I'm going to make content full time and it's going to be a great time. But that's not what it is. And so I feel like once you're in that position, you realize that.
Facts.
So I feel like there's a lot of people online who still think that, we have millions of dollars pumping through this.
Yeah. Hopefully one day.
One day.
And then.
Not hopefully, it will happen. It will happen.
So let's talk about Freedges. Who did you collab with to help bring that to play in Lincoln?
I'm in Leadership Lincoln. I strongly encourage and I'll tell you a little bit about it. I strongly encourage everybody who wants to be in a leadership position to apply for Leadership Lincoln. So what it is they actually hit me up last summer.
Okay.
Finding me from, documentary.
Doing what you do.
And they had asked me if I wanted to join Leadership Lincoln. And one of my nephews was in the youth version.
Okay.
So what it is, it's a 12-month program. You meet once a month and every day for that time. So you meet 12 times and have a seminar and you learn about different things. Ooh. So you might have like a health day where you learn about like the health field and stuff. And then you might have like a financial day. And then you have like a government day. So you're learning about different aspects and it's to help you learn more about how Lincoln operates.
Okay.
And so with that, we have a project that we have to do because you're split into different cohorts. So there's like advocates, fellows, executives.
I've been told about fellows. Keep going.
I'm in advocates 14 and then the 14th cohort of advocates. And so we're split into two groups and then you have to come up with a project or an idea that will benefit Lincoln, but that can be carried on by a nonprofit after your time in Leadership Lincoln. Oh,
that is dope.
And so we saw like the little food
pantries
and stuff like that. And we're like, well, what about Freedges? And that's a thing like I didn't know about in different places.
Yeah.
So then you can incorporate things like dairy, things like that people don't get.
Exactly.
And so that's
awesome. I applaud you for that, man. That's awesome.
That's so cool.
So now, who are the three people who have been the most influential to you?
I would say number one is probably my Jesus, my faith, because I'm a Christian.
Love it.
My mom.
Mom, gotta have her in there.
Most influential. And then I would say the third just encompasses just my immediate family.
I like that. Because without them, it's like a motivating factor.
Yeah. I mean, and not just my immediate family, just my family in general. You had my cousin on this podcast, Dolkute.
Yeah.
And he talked about how he used to make CDs and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And out and push it and stuff like that. And I remember that. I remember going to his house or whatever, and he'd be working on these CDs and burning this and playing music for us. I remember that.
Hustler. Your whole family hustlers. Okay.
My sister used to do that in school too. Let me tell this story. Okay.
All right.
Back in Sudan, she would go to school, and I hope she doesn't get upset with me telling this, but it was a long time ago. She was a kid. But she was like, I wasn't going to school to learn. I was going to school to work. Oh, so what she did was she would get candy and stuff and sell it at school. And then she'd make bring tea and cookies and stuff and sell it to students.
Definitely get in trouble for that.
And then she'd get in trouble, and then she'd think of another idea. So, I mean, she was learning, obviously, doing what she was supposed to. But she was also
on the side.
Yeah, she was also, that kid in high school that opens her jacket, all the candy and stuff. What you want, I got.
I love it. So, we were talking about earlier how we have to split with friends. What qualities do you value in people with whom you spend time with?
Honesty,
Number one.
I like for people to be brutally honest, especially if they're my friends. Don't tell me.
Blunt or brutally honest?
Which blunt?
You look fat. That kind? Or just
not like
you
that.
Could do better.
You could do better.
Yeah.
Tell me what's honestly going through your mind. Because if I say if I had made a song, or if you made a song, and you're just this is fire, right? Yeah, it's good. But they're they're that's not good. Tell me that. Give me that feedback. Don't set me up for failure or give me false hope about something.
That is very true.
Tell me how you feel about what I'm doing or the projects and stuff. And then I also do the same for my friends. Because
exactly.
I feel everybody needs a friend like that.
Yes. You don't need yes men. There's enough of those. So yeah, we'll be right back. And we're back. So, Jazari, what is your daily routine with everything you got going on? Does it differ? Do you have like a calendar, a schedule? Bop, 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 bop?
I put a lot of stuff in my phone, but sometimes I just remember. So how it works is I'll get up, start working my job from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay.
And then, I sometimes work from home or, I'll be in the studio office. And then immediately after 3, like I'll switch to doing everything with Kualdom, whether it's editing a video, running to a place to live stream something, like replying to messages, email, stuff like that.
Damn.
And then on the weekends, it's even worse.
It's this. It's all this?
Yeah. And schoolwork, though.
What time do you go to sleep?
Sometimes midnight, 1 a.m.
What time do you get up? So like 6?
30, yeah.
It's
Been
tough.
like that for like a year.
Yeah. But we can do that. We don't have kids right now. We're not married right now. So it's like I'm gonna sacrifice this time in order to put myself in position. So what are your hobbies other than work?
See, that's the thing too, though.
Is
like,
it the
content creating is a hobby?
exactly?
For me, you know what I mean? So it doesn't always feel like work. So I mean,
Do you like the longboard? Do you like the skateboard? Do you like the
I recently
lip
got a
sync?
bike.
Biking is so dope, man.
Yeah, it is, and all the trails, the new trails in Lincoln.
Yes. Okay. What genre of music could we find if we were to look at your Spotify, Apple Music right now?
Probably R&B pop music.
R&B. Who's one of your favorite go-to artists for R&B?
I would say Luke Christopher. He's more R&B and like hip hop.
Okay, cool.
Have you heard of Luke Christopher?
I haven't.
He's so good.
Luke Christopher.
He's more of an underground artist. He was really big on SoundCloud. He's
Hell
signed to
yeah.
a major label.
That's
now,
what's
but
up.
He's still not like mainstream. But
you
he's really
said
good.
R&B and what else?
Pop music.
Just like anything on the radio, pretty much. You listen to rap at all? Kinda.
Well, Luke Christopher does like rap. and
Okay,
hip-hop and stuff.
bet.
And it changes. I mean, like I really like Sam Smith.
Do you like NF?
Yes,
He's cold.
NF. I like NF.
Do you guys know who NF is? No. Just put in the letters NF and then you're welcome.
And then I really like The Weeknd.
Hell yes. Shout out Ethiopia. He's Ethiopian.
Is he?
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
He's really good. Yeah, because his name is Abel.
So what are 3 things we should know about you other than what you told us today? It's hard, huh?
I really like Freddy's ice cream. A lot of people know that. online. I've been trying so hard to get a sponsorship with them, but it just hasn't worked out.
Freddy's.
Freddy's.
Holler at my boy.
I like Freddy's ice cream. I hate long car rides.
Like, what's a long car ride for you? 2 hours?
I can't do anything over 4 hours.
Yeah, that's too much for me.
Anything after over 4 hours, I have to fly. If it's longer than a 2 hour flight, I have to fly first class.
What? I'm trying to lay down.
No, it's really bad. But like, I mean, I just don't like long car rides.
No, I feel you.
You know what I mean?
I have narcolepsy. I don't like it either. I might fall asleep.
And I fall asleep driving, but I don't fall asleep sitting there.
Wait.
So like, if I'm driving, I'll get tired a lot quicker than I am if I'm just sitting there chilling.
Damn.
Is that weird?
No.
You guys, okay.
I've gotten 2 accidents like that, bro.
Are you?
I'm still here to this day.
Thank you, guys.
For real. 3 accidents. I swerved in front of a cop, the last one.
Tight.
She's like, are you drunk? I'm like, no. She's like, all right, we could do a breathalyzer. I said, let's do it. So you really were sleeping? I'm like, yeah. Give me the reckless driving right now.
Oh my goodness.
So my car insurance was $300 a month for like a year. Yes.
That's crazy.
Good thing I had my car paid off. Yeah, it hurts.
Third thing. I sing a lot, like at home.
Sam Smith,
Just random different songs.
like annoyingly.
Well, I live alone, so I'm
Oh, hell yeah. So it's annoying.
yeah.
Do you have any pets?
No. I used to have a dog. I don't have him anymore.
A lot of work. You should get a cat.
I can't have any
You can't have any pets?
pets in my apartment. I don't know if they even let me have a fish.
What? Where do you live? Oh, no. We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. Where do you work at? Who do you work for? Or can you even just...
I can't say.
Whatever, dude. All right, we're going to do this.
Okay.
Rapid fire questions. Starting with, if someone were to play you in a movie, who would it be?
Probably that friend who's always like, wait, say that again?
If someone were to play you in a movie, like it's Jazari.
The actor?
Yeah, who would be the actor?
I don't know.
You got to think of it.
Oh my gosh.
It could be anybody.
Who would play me in a movie? I don't know. I don't know if there's any actor that looks like me out there. That's the thing.
We can have Tyler Perry try. You were acting like him.
And see, okay, talking about like acting and stuff like that, I feel like that's kind of why I also wanted to get into it. I never saw representation of me on TV.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. The Black Panther, Daniel.
Well, him or the Falcon.
Yes.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, yes.
Who?
Don Cheadle. If you saw him, you'd know. So if you could instantly
You saw
become,
him, you'd know.
Yeah, I swear you would know. If you could instantly become an expert in anything, what would it be?
An expert in anything.
Yes, what would it be?
That's a good question. I would say animation.
Animation is.
In animation.
Jack's doing something right now with animation.
That's one thing I don't know how to do all that well.
Takes a lot of time. Since we're talking about time, if you didn't have to sleep, what would you do with your extra time?
Work on videos.
If I didn't have to sleep, I would do the same. First celebrity crush.
First celebrity crush.
Yes.
Beyonce.
Holla. What are your top 5 movies that come to your head?
The Freedom Riders.
Ooh.
Elysium.
Elysium is a dope ass movie.
I really like The Passion of the Christ is a good one.
It is. Now you trying to make me cry? Keep going.
I cried a lot during that movie. Gosh, San Andreas with the
Rock. Oh,
yes, that's a good movie.
Last one.
Last one. Home Alone. Oh, serious. I used to love that. Tell me about when I was younger. I drew like a whole house map once. I'm like, what? Some booby traps.
Would you ever want to live forever?
See, that's the thing. I'm scared of dying, but I want to live forever. But then I'm scared of living forever.
Exactly.
You feel the same way?
It's crazy. It's a crazy paradox. Like, and let's say if you were to live forever, you would be in your prime state. So would you want to live forever? Just you, nobody else.
Hard.
Yeah. Fall in love, and then she die.
Okay.
Then you gonna find another one?
Have you ever seen The Age of Adeline?
I think I had. Oh, Blake Lively.
Yes.
Yes.
When she gets into the car accident,
yes.
and she gets like lightning,
Yeah.
and then she gets frozen in time.
It's crazy. If past lives are real, what do you think you were in your past life?
Past lives were real. What was I in my past life? I don't know.
A jaguar?
What I
Could be anything.
I don't know. Maybe the CEO or the son of a CEO of a Fortune 500 company or something like
Hell
that.
yeah. Hell yeah. What qualities do you admire about your mom?
Honesty.
Yes.
She's straight up real with it. Perseverance, dedication, resilience.
Ooh. Moms. Shout out. What is something you say you'll do but never will? For me,
Skydive.
same. I was literally going to say that.
I'll do it one day.
Hey, Jazari, you want to go skydive? Hell no. What is
and actually, the opportunity came up. Somebody's like, "You want to go skydiving?" And I'm like, you know, like that meme where it's like the button you don't know what to press.
What is one thing you would like to change about yourself?
Oh, my height.
Same.
I wish I was.
Everybody in my family tall.
Really?
Yes. Everybody.
Wow.
especially the boys.
Yeah, I'm not that tall.
Who or what was your biggest teacher?
Who or what was my biggest teacher? That's crazy. That's hard to answer.
Yes.
Because I've had so many teachers who I still keep in contact with.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know. I've enjoyed all my teachers.
Life.
But yeah. You've heard the saying, right? It takes a village to raise a child.
Facts.
I've always looked at that as like the school
It's true.
system.
Yes.
Like growing up in school, like the teachers you have throughout the years until you graduate, like that's the village that raises you.
Exactly. Mickle. You know what this is? Did you enjoy your time on Blazin A Trail?
I did.
Love it. So, do you have any?
No, I'm kidding.
We're never coming back.
I'm just playing.
Do you have any questions for us?
I feel like you want to talk. Would you want to live forever?
Do I want to live forever? No. So I can literally. The reason why is if I'm gonna live forever, I'm not gonna have the oomph to try something and go and use my passion. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, I'll get to it in 200 years.
Have you ever seen the show Altered Carbon?
Altered Carbon. I always see that on Netflix,
You've
but I
seen
never
it,
watch
right?
it.
So they're able to live forever because they have like a drive that's downloaded in the neck. They call it a stack.
And to the cloud or something?
Some if you're rich, and then some have it on like a satellite off world.
Damn. Mm-hmm. It reminds me of The Old Guard. It's a movie on Netflix. It's the same thing. These people have been in humanity fighting all these wars and altering humanity for the good. But yeah, Old Guard on Netflix. Look it up. All right. So where can people find you and the things that you're up to?
On all social media platforms at Jazari Kual. You got to streamline it.
Love it. Jazari Kual. We'll put that up there or wherever. So yeah. So I would like to thank you all for listening. Remember to leave a review on our podcast, comment below, download the episode. Remember that you are perfectly in progress. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Blazin A Trail Podcast. If you know of a person who would be a great guest, DM me, Jazari, Jack, or Nelson. So once again, thank you for being my guest.
Thank you for
and
having
thank
me.
you guys for listening to Blazin A Trail Podcast. As always, remember to start with yourself because you are the one. So make it happen.